Picture yourself standing atop a massive peak, but this isn't your typical mountain. Beneath your feet lies over half a century of forgotten debris, millions of tons of human waste discarded over decades. Welcome to Puente Hills, California, a colossal monument to society's byproducts, located right in the heart of the West. Back in the mid-20th century, trash was just something we buried and simply ignored. But today, waste has become a sophisticated issue, one that requires highly engineered solutions. Puente Hills isn't just a relic of past consumption, it's a reflection of the environmental challenges we face today, and a reminder of the intricate systems that keep our world running behind the scenes. For more than 50 years, it served as the final destination for the refuse of the surrounding metropolitan area. At its peak, this massive facility processed up to 4 million tons of waste annually, transforming it into, you guessed it, a literal mountain of human excess. However, the narrative of Puente Hills is more than just about stockpiling trash. Oh no, it's a story of evolution and innovation. In 1976, the way we dealt with waste underwent a massive shift. New federal regulations reshaped how landfills operated, turning them from simple dumping grounds into intricately engineered systems. Today, we don't just toss waste into a pit, but the complexities of waste management might still surprise you. Back in the 1950s, landfills were seen as temporary solutions, a place where waste would just vanish out of sight. Over the years, however, the science behind waste disposal has dramatically improved. Now, facilities like Puente Hills symbolize more than just accumulated garbage. They stand as a testament to human ingenuity, handling waste without causing environmental catastrophe. Here's the twist. These landfills don't just expand horizontally, they grow vertically too. And with every new layer of waste comes its own set of challenges. As the trash mountain climbs higher, stability becomes a real issue. Steeper slopes are difficult to maintain, and the sheer weight of the trash beneath, it causes shifting and settling. Not to mention the visual and social implications. How much are we willing to tolerate these giant mountains of waste in our landscapes? But that's just scratching the surface. Choosing a location for a landfill is no easy task. It can't be too close to airports, neighborhoods, or fragile ecosystems. Engineers must balance costs, environmental concerns, and the pressures of urban expansion when deciding where to build. Geology, hydrology, and even public perception all factor into the decision. Once the site is selected and built, the real work begins, dealing with both visible and invisible waste. One of the biggest threats, rainwater. As it seeps through layers of garbage, it collects all sorts of harmful contaminants, creating a toxic brew known as leachate. If left unchecked, this liquid could infiltrate the soil, threatening groundwater and surrounding ecosystems. To prevent these disasters, modern landfills like Puente Hills use multiple layers of protection. Thick plastic liners, compacted clay barriers, all working together to keep that leachate contained, far from the earth below. But that's only part of the story. To keep rainwater from pooling and turning the landfill into a swamp of decomposing waste, engineers devised drainage systems to divert and treat the liquid. This level of innovation, it's what separates today's landfills from the primitive dumps of the past. In the grand scheme of things, Puente Hills is much more than just a landfill. It serves as a time capsule of our collective consumption and a symbol of how far we've come in the field of waste management. As society continues to evolve, so too does our approach to dealing with the inevitable byproducts of modern life. From simple pits in the ground to towering engineered mountains, landfills like Puente Hills show not only what we throw away, but how we confront the growing challenges of our expanding world. To thoroughly address a problem, the first step is to evaluate our own living environment and consider whether we would want to reside in a space cluttered with garbage and waste. If the answer is no, then as a community, we should collaboratively seek solutions to manage and resolve environmental issues effectively and responsibly.